So I'm starting another stream. Sometimes this means it'll be tacked on to the end of the last stream. It's really up to YouTube. I don't know how long I'm supposed to have to wait. And frankly, I don't even care. I'm just trying to split these up because people have mentioned and bitched about it. So, you know, I could pause it and restart it again. But there's only so much I'm willing to do. Otherwise, I would just make these all as one video anyway. This is to Quintica. So he just, after some radio silence, said, I, Piero, do support Twitter's censorship. And then he says, but I won't face the blah, blah, blah. Well, I just spent all of this time explaining to you my position, which I get to be the one that says. The video this whole current thread started from was talking about censorship by, I likened it to not letting African Americans in restaurants. I think it's pretty clear. My first comments to it in Flying to Barklard were that I don't think the private business should be deciding those things, meaning I'm not for their censorship. That's my position to declare. And you're just, once again, this is what you've always been doing. And then you get all upset about how I'm a terrible person believing a thing that I don't fucking believe. And what possible... You don't get to say what my position is, Quintica. I don't know why you really want to. So I'm here saying and bringing this subject up, I don't support that. I think we ought to have mechanisms, legal mechanisms and understandings of how free speech works. Because right now the law is that's private property. There is no free speech. Free speech is something the state has to provide. It can't inhibit, rather. Twitter can by law right now. You and I theoretically are on the same side. We could be discussing how would that work? How would you possibly tell Twitter? What would be the words you could write in your law? Or how could you make it so that Twitter has to be fair? I said an answer to that. Make them either be a carrier or they can moderate. If they moderate, they're responsible when ISIS or the mob uses their platform to communicate. If they're a carrier, then they're not responsible, but they also can't just arbitrarily decide to block people, including if they say bad shit about Twitter. That's my answer. But you're going to go back, no. Don't, you're not giving those answers, Piero, in your opinion of how this should work. You actually are for it with people. And by the way, you've been talking to me for years and years and years. I'm engaging with you. I talk to the people that I disagree with. I don't censor them. I try to engage with them. Too much. On and on, talking to someone like you who's going to tell me what I believe. I just spent all this time explaining to you and how you get the wrong end of the stick right off the bat because you're assuming I'm fine with Twitter banning Milo because you just assume. Of course, I feel that way. I said I was SJW. That's the view an SJW has to have, so I must be lying. No, I'm an individual. Whatever labels you give me or I'm willing to accept or whatever they might mean to any of the other people, I still get to say my position. I brought this up saying, no, I don't think Twitter should be able to, or want to for that matter, censor. I think with the way we have the internet set up right now with this shit ambiguous and it actually being a private space, it's ambiguous what they should, can, or will do or must do because of market pressures that you even mentioned. But I am not for them censoring, and I made that pretty clear. You don't get to say my position is something else. From some, maybe your feels, you could just get, you just feel, you just know I actually am for it, but I don't want to admit that I'm for it. What would be the point of that? Exactly. To falsify my position on this. Because I always like to have the same position as myself. What name other things? Am I pandering to some dogma you know of? It's ridiculous. And you know, it's just not super bright for you to constantly be telling me what my position is, and then you're all upset and snowflakey about how dare I think that. Okay? I admit what my position is. And when you come along with something like, oh, he says that we're suckers, we voted for Trump. You know, I didn't make a big deal of that. You're always doing that. Oh, he goes on and on about Russia, you say. When was the last video or the last? Well, once you did mention it. That's not the same as going on and on and on and on and making a big point of it. right? And so that's bullshit. But when you said about the suckers, I'm like, I don't think I used that word. I didn't ride on that concept. But yes, I see where you would get that, because I'm always trying to look at where is the confused jerk telling me what my position is. Where did he get that idea? So with the case of suckers, I get it. I spent time saying, when are you guys gonna? What criteria? What could he possibly violate that you won't just go no fake news and I'll believe what I want? Where is that? And that I probably had used the word sucker at some point, but not on and on. But that's part of the same theme. Fine, and I admit that. Why wouldn't I? That's my position. I'm trying to make my position known. I do the same thing with Twitter. And you want to tell me what I believe because in your fantasy world, I have to believe that. I am the kind of person that believes this kind of thing. And if I say I believe this or this, you know, because you can feel in your heart what kind of person you're really talking to. And that makes you look really stupid. Okay? Stop telling me what my position is. You handle your fucking position. Because you don't like to do that either. You like to be back up. It's like, well, I didn't say, and I'm not saying we should change the law. I'm just saying it's a comment, but I'm not saying Twitter should change what they're doing. Well, why don't you fucking get off the fucking fence? What do you think should happen? What law should be passed? What should Twitter do on their own? How can Twitter do it on their own when they're a publicly traded corporation that has to make money and do profitable decisions? Why don't you fucking come up with something to discuss about the answer? You won't even discuss my answer. Now you're going to tell me that all the half an hour I've spent explaining it to you, that doesn't really matter because I actually believe something else I haven't bothered to explain for some reason. My belief that's opposite from what I'm saying, it makes no fucking sense. All right. Oh yeah, and here's the part where you get to go, oh, Piro was upset with my bullshit telling him his own view instead of talking to him about telling him my views. So you must the one, yeah, because that's your whole goal, is the troll goal, and that's fine, right? I'm happy if that's what you're gonna let it be. That's your point here, is just to troll. Fine. I often interact with trolls, obviously.